What's going on, everyone? It is me, Lone, and I'm really sorry for not uploading. I just literally haven't had time to work and focus on YouTube, and I'm really shitty about that because I actually like working on my channel and making videos for all of you. So I do hope you can accept my apology. I don't know when I'm actually going to get time to focus on my channel and to dedicate time towards it. So I hope you can bear with me. I might never have enough time that I really want to be able to do this on top of my job, but we'll see how we go. Enough complaining, it's time to talk about Bioshock, the collection, which is coming out really soon on September 13th, 2016. Now, the question for today's video is, what do you think of the remastering job that 2K has done for Bioshock, the collection? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't been living under a rock and you watch my videos or you watch the podcast on Maddie's channel, you'll obviously know that I'm a huge Bioshock fan and I'm really excited for Bioshock, the collection. If you don't know, this essentially is going to be a collection of Bioshocks 1, 2, and Infinite together as a remastered package that's going to be released on the current gen consoles, Xbox One, PS4, and also released on the PC. The only difference with the PC being is that Bioshock Infinite isn't necessarily remastered. It's the same edition that people on the PC already have. It's just that Bioshocks 1 and 2 are going to be up-resed or remastered slightly for the PC. But if you're on PC and you own all those games, and also if you own the DLC as well, then you're going to get the collection for free. So it's a win-win situation. You have nothing really to complain about. But I do want to talk about the remastered aspect of Bioshock, the collection. Several weeks ago, and I wanted to cover this at the time, but I was working on other videos and I was busy with other things such as life, like I mentioned before. But 2K released on their YouTube channel, and I'm going to be linking that in the description below, a Bioshock the Collection remastered comparison trailer. Essentially, it shows you what the game used to look like on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 when the game was running natively at 720p and 30 FPS, I believe, to how it runs now as Bioshock the Collection remastered at 1080p and 60 FPS on the consoles. And many people have been saying that this isn't really much of an improvement. And even as a huge Bioshock fan, I'll still say that, yeah, it's not like a crazy upgrade. It's not like this awesome remaster that is better than any remaster that we've ever gotten. The improvements are slight. It's not just an up-res, I'll say that. There are differences to the textures, but it is a slight improvement. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing super special. However, I'm not going to go so far as to say that it's a lazy job such that the $60 price point is too much. I think that's a huge step too far to suggest, like some people have been saying. Not everyone, not many people, but some people have been suggesting that the collection shouldn't be sold for $60 because they're older games and they're not that much of an improvement, and they should probably be sold at a lower price point. I still think that it's really fair that they're sold at $60. I mean, you're getting 3 amazing games for the price of 1, essentially, and if you're on PC and you own all the games in the DLC, you get it for free. Unfortunately, it just can't work out that way on the consoles, but again, it's $60 for 3 games and 3 phenomenal games, so I still think the price is fair. In terms of the remastered aspect, again, yes, it isn't a crazy improvement, it's nothing super spectacular, it's nothing that's really blowing me away, but I'm completely fine with that. One, because we've been getting more focus and attention on Bioshock than we have in the past couple of years, ever since Bioshock Infinite and Ken Levine actually closed down or essentially made defunct Irrational Games. It's still, lurking around creating a smaller title. But over the past couple of years, we haven't really had any attention or focus on Bioshock. But over the past couple of months, it's been so much of what 2K is marketing about on top of Mafia. And as a huge Bioshock fan, I cannot be more happier about that fact. It's such an amazing series. They're such phenomenal games. Bioshock 1 in terms of its atmosphere and immersion. Bioshock Infinite in particular because of its story. Bioshock 2 in particular because of its gameplay. I think each of the games have their own positives and things that make them really shine and stand on their own. So to be honest, I'm just happy to see more about Bioshock, whether it's just the trailers they've been releasing, whether it's the actual interviews that they conducted with Ken Levine about the development of Bioshock. We've just been seeing so much attention and focus being given to these games that I absolutely adore, and I consider to be one of my favorite franchises of all time, and Bioshock 1 I consider to be my favorite game of all time, probably next to Fallout 3 and Ocarina of Time. So there's that there. Secondly, though, there definitely is an improvement. I mean, when you actually think about it, there actually is an improvement. The game has been improved to run on consoles from 720p and 30 FPS, or frames per second, to 1080p and 60 FPS. I mean, that in and of itself is a big improvement. And then there are those slight improvements to textures and other graphical aspects of the game. It's nothing crazy, but there is a slight improvement. As you can see in the gameplay in the background, there is an improvement of some sort. And you know how it is. Usually when you think back on games that you used to play, your memory might not be your best friend here. You know, the graphics might not have been that good as your memory recalls. But when you actually go back and play those old games, you think, shit, these don't look as good as I remember them. And the same would have gone for Bioshocks 1, 2, and Infinite on the Xbox 360 and PS3. I mean, go back and play any game on those consoles and you'll realize exactly what I mean. It's not like they're unplayable or anything like that, or they necessarily look bad, but there is a clear distinction between games on those consoles, perhaps more so games that were released earlier or mid-console cycle, to games that are released on the consoles nowadays. So comparing Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite on the 360 and PS3 to what they're going to look like now as part of Bioshock the Collection on PS4 and Xbox One, there is an improvement. It might be slight, but it definitely is there, and I don't think you can really deny that. And thirdly, and I think this is probably one of the most important points about it, is that remastering the games or upraising the games, however you want to describe it, so that they're playable on PS4 and Xbox One is so important for the franchise in many different aspects. First of all, it shows that 2K does hold Bioshock as a franchise in a high regard and very likely intends to make many more Bioshock games in the future. You don't remaster games or you don't remaster franchises if you have absolutely no intention to actually making further titles. And Maddie has actually touched on this, I believe on Twitter or the podcast. The fact that they remastered the Bioshock games and they're releasing Bioshock the Collection shows without a doubt that they're going to be releasing a new Bioshock game sometime in the future. It's going to be in the hands of a new studio because Irrational Games isn't working on Bioshock anymore. But the fact that 2K is releasing Bioshock the Collection does very, very likely mean that there's going to be a new Bioshock game, especially because the president of Take-Two has said that they definitely intend to keep pumping out Bioshock games, or he said something to that effect anyways. And secondly, related to that point, remastering the games and putting them on current-gen consoles is enabling more people to actually play Bioshock. The game sold well, don't get me wrong. As far as we can see, we don't know the solid numbers. While Bioshock sold well, of course there are still millions and millions of people that haven't played these games. And I think it's so important that now they're going to be playable again on PS4 and Xbox One, because it's very likely that both people that have already played Bioshock many times through are going to pick them up again, like myself, guilty as charged. But more importantly, people that have never touched these games are going to pick them up. A lot of people, thousands if not millions, are actually going to be playing Bioshock for the first time, a game that they've never played before. While it was a popular franchise, of course every gamer in the world hasn't played it. So just having this collection being released on current-gen consoles means that more people are going to be playing Bioshock, means that more people are going to start to appreciate how great this franchise really is, and how awesome the games are. Even Bioshock 2, I don't care what people say. Just that fact that more people are going to be playing Bioshock for the first time and giving this franchise a go, I think is a real positive. And that's particularly why I think this price point is fair, because people that have never played Bioshock before are able to purchase 3 games for the price of 1. But yes, of course, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I am a hardcore Bioshock fan, so the bias is there. I'm not going to deny that. But let me know what you think. What do you think about the remaster? Do you think it's more appropriately described as an up-res or a remaster? Do you think it doesn't matter, kind of like I do? What are your thoughts? Let me know. And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.